We have about a $300 million loan portfolio, so we have a good size portfolio. And I think we've been with TMO and maybe if there were previous names for about 30, 35 years. So I think we're probably like one of your original clients on TMO. Once you've got 40, 50 loans, I think you really should be using a system to manage everything. There's so much going on that, just tracking insurance and taxes. You just need those reminders. There's, a lot of things. We have about 550 loans, so it's not something that we could manage. But we also manage this $300 million portfolio. We have 3 staff. There would be no way to do that if you didn't have, a system like yours. We've been working on the origination platform through TMO, for, 10 years. The system, what you guys have, it's very user friendly. And again, we have, there's the 2 different sides where you've got the origination and the loan servicing.
But to actually have both platforms all within one software has a huge benefit, right? Because you just easily push the data from origination over to servicing.
Yeah, and then also the tracking too, because it's a big thing. When you've got different systems, if you're originating one place and you're servicing the other, you need to make sure the loans that you funded actually make it into servicing. And they make it in a timely manner, and that's something we do the trust deed. So there are a lot of lenders that are they'll have funds, but we're still kind of old school on that. So there is tracking that we'll do because we may wait for our loans to fund to get the funds in from the investors. We'll already fund on our line, but we're waiting for the funds to come in, and there are times where maybe it takes maybe someone's got an IRA transaction and we're waiting for the IRA to send the funds over. And now I've got loan servicing. They need to start sending their statements out, their welcome letter and all of that. So it's nice to have the same system so we can kind of keep track of that. We could say, okay, it's been, 2 weeks. We need to get the file moving into loan service.
What are the components of the software that are very important to you when it comes to gaining trust and maintaining trust with your investors?
I would say the reporting is probably one of the bigger. Most of the work we're doing with the investors, other than just having accurate documents and accurate files, having the information so that we're able to quickly take a look at the investor's portfolio. Because usually when an investor calls, we don't know which loan they're calling about, and then they may want to have, they may have questions on, well, what about this loan? What about that? So I think we're able to click on portfolio. We can see everything they've got, and we can figure out which loan their questions are on, as well as give them an update or a status on something on a different transaction. So it's nice that we can see all of that in one spot.
Do you see more folks keeping their loans in-house to service now?
That's interesting because I think everyone can look at that. There's definitely economies of scale, and you have to figure that out. Like I said, we could probably double our portfolio, and it wouldn't cost that much more to do, which is what we want to do. I think you want to try to keep that servicing in-house. There's just so much involved. Things happen. There's a lot of decisions, a lot of conversations we have. Maybe we've got force-placed insurance, and we have a vendor that tracks that, but at the end of the day, we still have to figure out what's going on. If we didn't have in-house servicing, we wouldn't be aware of a lot of things that are happening and being in the loop to make a lot of those decisions. I'm sure at some point, it's floated up and but you're probably missing a lot of things. Even just the payoffs that come in, we have a lot of times borrowers will call our brokers and title or escrow companies call. They're looking at doing a payoff. I think when you've got an outside servicer, you may not get those calls unless the loan is actually paying off. So when you're servicing in-house, you're just closer. It's kind of like the heartbeat. You're closer to the transactions, and you're going to know that you've got some payoffs coming in. They don't always go through, but the fact that a borrower is looking to pay off their loan or thinking about it, it's good for you to get your loan officers in the loop, check in with them, see what's going on, and maybe you catch the refi.
If you had a peer come up to you and say, hey, we're evaluating TMO as our software, what type of feedback would you would you give them?
Well, I would tell them that, we work with TMO and we've been with them for decades. I would say we've both grown together. We weren't over 300 million 10 years ago even. So it seems the system is limitless. Obviously we could add a lot of loans and once we got everything going, and our folks, our staff, we've got some people that have been on the system for many years too, so they know a lot. But yeah, in general, I would say it's a good match. TMO does a great job.